Hey, what's up, everybody? Jason from Astro Botanico. Same guy, different love shirt. Uh, just to make a distinction between the two videos here, filmed on the same day, where we're talking about the same thing, the oat plant. In the previous video, I talked about oat straw. Today, we're going to be talking about Milky Oats or the oat tops. But something that I want to mention at the top of this video is that oats are an excellent remedy topically for a wide array of skin irritations like rashes and poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, eczema, other stuff. And it's used either as a poultice or as a bath soak. But again, for time reasons, I'm primarily just going to be discussing their use as it pertains to a tea or a tonic like I use them in Mellow Tone. However, I will include links down below for anyone interested in doing a deeper dive on oats. But for today, I want to talk about the tops, or Milky Oats. Now, really quickly, here's what they look like again, just in case you didn't see that video. Milky Oats, they are probably the #1 nervous system trophorestorative herb in all of Western herbalism. Now, if you haven't watched my video on nervines, a trophorestorative herb is an herb that helps to restore the vital capacity of an organ or a system when it's worn out or exhausted or depleted. And so in this case, we're talking about the central nervous system. And so you can think of oats as literal food for the central nervous system, but whose actions are powerful while the effects are mild, if that makes sense. Now, milky oats are the seeds. They're the top of the oat plant when they're in the milky latex stage of development, hence the name. And this stage lasts for about a week or so, and it happens after the oat plant begins flowering, but before the seed hardens and becomes the oat grain that we eat as oatmeal. Now, the most potent way of using milky oats is by alcohol tincture when they're fresh, which preserves the potency of their bioactive constituents that's in that latex. And alcohol is what's called for to pull the most powerful medicine out. Now, as a tincture, milky oats are indicated for the same nervous system conditions as oat straw that I discussed in that video. So again, exhaustion, insomnia, depression, anxiety, loss of sexual drive, but in more acute cases when the symptoms are more severe. Or if you're going through like a drug and alcohol detox and you get the symptoms of withdrawal, a milky oats tincture can be really powerful and helpful there to deal with that withdrawal. Also with like pharmaceuticals and anxiety meds, because they can end up depleting the vital reserves of the body and the central nervous system, as well as your nutrients. And so it's helpful for that. But if you don't have access to fresh milky oat tincture, then the next best way to harness that restorative power is like how I use them in Mellow Tone, which is to steep the dry tops in hot liquid for several minutes. The longer the better, in order to really pull out those beneficial nutrients, which is why I prefer and recommend people brew Mellow Tone in a French press. And that way you can just let everything steep in the milk and put it in the refrigerator, and then just pour off what you need when you need it and heat it up or drink it cold. It's also worth mentioning here again that oats are a tonic herb, meaning the longer you use them, the more you'll start to benefit from their effects. And so while you may initially feel relaxed and calm or even sleepy when you first begin using Mellow Tone, like I did, give it a couple weeks for the medicine to kick in and have an effect, and then really begin doing the deed. And so even used like this, oat tops are really powerful medicine that can bring about a sense of calm and peace to help you fall asleep, rather than just like sedating you like the other hypnotic herbs I mentioned in my video on nervines. Oh, another tidbit, besides just getting to say the word tidbit, milky oats can be used to help restore the myelin sheath around the nerves, which is like the rubber coating around an electrical cord that keeps the wires from shorting out. And incidentally, lion's mane mushroom also does this, and I use that in my other golden milk powder, Howdy Dude. And so this is a reason why those two products work really well synergistically, because they can really benefit the entire system, but from multiple angles. And so I like to think of consuming lion's mane mushroom and milky oats, and oats in general, as kind of going in and repairing the frayed rubber cords so that your brain and your central nervous system don't short out. And then finally, as if all of that wasn't powerful enough, oats also have demulcent properties, which means that it has mucilage that helps to protect and soothe irritated and inflamed tissue, like gut tissue. And so, like, have you ever noticed how a bowl of oatmeal can become gummy or slimy sometimes? That's those demulcent properties. And it's really beneficial, especially for healing the gut and for lubricating stiff, creaky, inflamed joints, and used as a bath soap to soothe itchy, irritated skin. However, just so you know, when you brew Mellow Tone, it doesn't get slimy or gummy like that. Yeah, so that's it. To sum up, the lovely Avena Sativa, or oats, this is a deeply powerful, nutritive, and restorative herb. It's gentle and safe. It's supportive of pretty much the entire system for pretty much any person who feels depleted and worn out, run down and tired and disconnected due to chronic stress, or from pushing their sweet, sweet animal just way too hard, which is about everybody these days in these modern times, I'm afraid. So listen, you good people, take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, and I will see you soon with another discussion on another plant.